Take This have been playing in Jersey for a quarter of a century this year, 25 years. You can see them tonight in the Drift. Zoltan Palo and Paul Bentley are here. Morning, good morning.
Good morning. Morning, Cameron and listeners.
Hello. 25 years. When you set out, did you think that you'd be 25 years later still together as a group, Zoltan?
If you'd have asked me in the 90s, probably not, but I can't imagine us doing anything else in our spare time, really. Well, apart from Paul doing Stormtroopers, which is a different story.
Yeah, we know you from that, Paul.
That's one little sideline thing. But yeah, we set this up as our cover band project, didn't we? We'd all played in bands that had written and recorded original music, and you've had some. You've recorded an album, and
shout out to Quick Shimmy fans, all three of them.
Yeah, that was brilliant. So this was put together purely as a cover band project, and yeah, that was in '93. I think our first gig was. So
could you remember where that was? Your first gig?
Probably somewhere like the Great Western, R.I.P., or the original Bavette, R.I.P. So who knows? It was somewhere like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the first TT gigs. So the Life of Riley, which some people remember, Billy the Fish had been kind of storming the place every Monday for a long time, and they departed to pursue their fortunes in the UK, and then there was an opportunity for us to kind of do a cover slot there. So we'd all, like Paul says, we'd all been involved quite deeply in recording projects that were really about trying to get a deal, and we're all a bit tired of it, you know, because it was on the cusp of the 90s. Everybody wanted superstar DJs. Nobody was that interested in particularly guitar-based bands then, so it was more about having fun and entertaining people, and that kind of stuck.
We just wanted to play at the weekend and have fun, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that developed into then getting asked to play events and weddings and private parties and celebrations, and we're still doing that now, which is amazing. So yeah, it's been great fun so far. We got some crazy stories of places we find ourselves in, getting vehicles stuck on the causeway at Elizabeth Castle and things like that.
You'll never let me forget that.
No, you never will.
What happened?
Clearly, one side of the causeway has a vehicle track. The other side is a lunar landscape, right? So someone who owns a classic transit van took the left-hand side, which no one drives, and consequently...
In my defence, it was the day La Cala burnt down. I was a bit distracted looking at the fire, or the remnants of the fire. And
yeah.
I should have known better, and I went the wrong side of the causeway and thought I'd just plough on, and you just can't.
No.
So
names of yesteryear, La Cala. Yeah.
Hey, it happens to a few different people. There's some ballet dancers earlier this week got stuck out at Elizabeth Castle when the tide came back in.
Yeah, we're just dad dancers now, aren't we, really?
So tell us, who else is in the group, and what do you all do?
Yeah, okay, so we've got the mighty Zoltan Palo on lead vocal and guitar, Sean Conway on guitar and vocals, we've got Simon Roberts on bass and vocals, got myself on keyboards, a bit of vocals in there as well, and the long tradition of fine drummers in the band with Kev Kempsey, who everybody will know in the music scene. So yes, we have some fine musicians, and we've sort of always prided ourselves on having a sort of attention to detail with tracks, haven't we, with cover bands and tracks, and hopefully we have this quite high musical standard we set ourselves, and so yeah, and we have really nice gear these days too, don't we? No homemade stuff, so we were able to hopefully make quite a nice sound these days.
So better gear than when you started out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what goes without saying, I think.
Yeah, it's actually much easier now, isn't it, to connect up and
carry.
Yes, and carry. Yes, exactly.
100 kilos.
We haven't got any liquid-cooled cabinets anymore, which is always handy. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of songs then do you play? I suppose all sorts.
It's a really wide spectrum of tracks, isn't it? And it's evolved over the years. Our set's evolved. We do a 2-hour slot if you want us to, and it's evolved to cover all sort of types and styles and genres, so we can do a sort of more guitar-based set, a sort of very wedding-friendly one, and then something for the splash if you want more guitar-based things. So we can cover all situations, really. So it's literally everything from Simply Red, Tom Jones. We've got everything in there, haven't we, Zoltan? We can do Metallica if you want that, but
Rage Against the Machine.
We can do a dance tracks. But tonight it's going to be sort of just like what we call festival anthems and sort of rock classics, which will cover the 80s and 90s. So it's proper sort of jump around
stuff like that, maybe.
We might not play that tonight, but it's that style. Okay. Yeah, we certainly have U2 in the set, but we've sort of honed it down for tonight, just for the absolute floor fillers and sort of jump around classics, if you like.
There's a bit about I think most of the professional bands over here would agree, is that there's a degree of reading your audience. I mean, this is the first time we've played the Drift as the client. We played in there a number of times for private clients, which is a bit different because obviously you have some idea about what your focus is, but in this case it's going to be potentially a random audience that's just turning up to watch us and go to that club. We don't know what kind of clientele it's going to be, we don't know what age group or demographic, any of that. So part of the game is, and I suppose where your experience comes into play, is then you need to be able to say, what are we playing to?
It, yeah.
It isn't just like we know what to expect, and that's something that's been learned over the last couple of decades, is being able to look at an audience and get a sense of, we know what kind of set will work with them.
Take This, where does the name come from?
Well, we were around in the very early 90s, and it was, I remember it being a working title for a little while. It just
I think
stuck, wasn't it?
It was more like we were the, I can't use that expression here because it's BBC Radio, but we were the extreme opposite, the antithesis of a boy band.
Right.
That was what it came, it was ironic, so we would take this because we were not a boy band by any stretch of the imagination, neither was the set we were playing.
None of us are Brad Pitt, are we?
But then, then we got, well, I think it's also, it wasn't quite Europop, and we all danced around in our speedos.
Yeah.
So it was,
Not for a while.
but it got stuck. The name became, it became more difficult then to kind of rebadge the band, because people just knew who we were, and now the joke's on us.
We have
Especially
fun.
Take That
We have
reunion.
fun with it, don't we? Yeah, we have fun with it. but,
Has it been plain sailing for 25 years, or have you ever had any sort of
Oh.
Noel and Liam Gallagher moments?
If you've ever seen Spinal Tap, there are definitely a few of those moments in there where you can't believe you're in this certain situation. But yeah, there's always differences. I think we're all kind of similar characters, and you get that clash of characters.
I suppose as
But
time
it's
goes
all
on, that's
good.
less so as well.
It is. We're great friends. Listen, we're you know, we always help each other out, and it's just, we're a solid unit, aren't we? But,
I think we've helped about 500 couples get married and celebrate over the last couple of decades.
Yeah.
But I tend to think this is probably one of the longest marriages you could imagine being in for 25 years with 4 other guys.
Your silver anniversary as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't
What are
it?
you buying me?
Oh, right. I'll have to. What have you bought me?
Bedpan.
Anything? Have you bought me anything? Is the equivalent value rules that apply?
I can't afford the watches you wear.
Oh God! Anyway, listen, we were thinking of doing something for the anniversary. We were going to perhaps record a video in the style of something from the 90s, like an homage, or perhaps even record a track of our own. We've all got.
You're going to be dressing up again, aren't you?
I'm not going to do that. Not this time. Not this time.
We're definitely going to have some kind of celebratory festival. We're working on the details, so
Let us know.
Look
Let us
out
know.
I hope your listeners will be excited about it and come and join us.
I'm excited.
Let me see if I can find what kind of songs are you playing tonight. Let me see if I can dig out a song to play now that you might.
How about we might sneak a bit of Teenage Dirtbag in there by Wheatus,
Okay.
or we might play Kings of Leon, or a bit of The Killers, something like that. All kind of sort of current-ish stuff, but it's sort of like that festival anthems thing that everybody wants to hear when they go and see a rock band.
We'll give the game away and play Purple Rain, because we might do that.
We might do that later. Yeah.
Never played it before. But
If people want to come along, you're in the Drift this evening.
Yes.
What time are you guys getting in the way?
We start at 9:30, but obviously get there a bit before,
Yeah.
and have some drinks
Yeah.
in that fine establishment. Craig Alder, by the way, sets up this live and local
Shout out to
event.
Craig.
Yay! And it's every
Good
2
initiative.
months, I think. It's bi-monthly, and he's featuring loads of local bands. So go out and support local bands.
Take This in the Drift Bar this evening in St Helier. Playing stuff like this, The Killers, Human.